You are listening to Food for Worms, the original true grime podcast.
Food for worms.
Baby, to burn me up. Baby, he ripped out my heart from the start.
Just
burn me up. Buttercup, please break my heart. That's the opposite of the song.
Yeah, you made it. You brought it to a dark place.
Yeah,
that was always the song that I wanted to cover in a band, but nobody was ever down with it. But then I found out later. Like, do you know me, myself, and Irene? Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Yeah.
They covered that.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So the
song is
they got
called
it covered.
Burn Me Up.
Burn me up,
Buttercup, baby. You always let me down. Let me down.
I mean, and I think my love for it started because that's the outro for There's Something About Mary.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that fucking movie all the way through.
It's so good. I haven't seen it in forever, but yeah, they do like a full music video of that song with everybody from the cast.
And they're just dancing.
Yeah, every scene they filmed different shit. And,
Woof.
yeah, do you know Harland Williams?
Only by name.
He's a goofy stand-up. He's from that movie Rocket Man, if you remember that from the 90s, the goofy ass guy that goes somehow he ends up going to space, but he's a random drifter that Ben Stiller picks up as a hitchhiker. And then he's got like a duffel bag with him, but it's obviously in the shape of a human being.
Is this in Rocket Man still?
No. This is in There's Something About Mary.
Oh, Jesus.
Ben Stiller pulls over and picks this guy up, and he's got like a duffel bag, but it's obviously in the shape of a human. And like when they're singing that song at the end, he's just hugging his duffel bag human while he's singing to that song.
That's dark.
Yeah.
That's dark. You got it.
This is
No, it's not. No. Let's keep this shit going. No, fuck that. Let's unpack that.
Well, and he's also, I don't know if you ever saw Freddy Got Fingered.
No,
but he's his friend that like goes on the mini ramp and breaks his leg in half.
No, I haven't. For me, Tom Green. I don't know. He was around, but I didn't like Tom Green by himself. I like Tom Green being the wild card in a group full of regular, well-adjusted, shitty human beings. Like
Road Trip.
Yeah.
You like his weird character.
Yeah.
He's the one guy that didn't get to go on the road in Road Trip.
Who has his own adventure.
Yeah.
They shot all of his shit in one day.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I like Tom Green in that capacity, but I hope he's doing okay. So.
Well, and spoiler alert, folks, one of my favorite jokes from that whole thing is like, because, you know, the premise is they're trying to get to this college so they can stop this, like, sex tape from getting to his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, because he cheated like an asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why they're on this road trip. But then the tape, when they get there, they see that there's this tape, and it stops playing out during the sex tape, and it's just Barry, Tom Green, holding his own ass and trying to see it through the camera on the TV, and that's all that was over the whole entire recording.
Okay. All right, yes, I remember that part. However, I do feel like there was one whole thing at the beginning of that any partner would be like, the fuck was that? even if, like you came all this way for what? This tape? What was on the tape? Like, whenever shit like that happens in those movies, they always paint the other person who's not supposed to see it as like this fucking just like oblivious,
dumb, naive,
not dumb, but naive. Yeah, naive is the word, but definitely just being like they wouldn't. They're not the type of person that would ask like a follow-up question, which is bullshit.
They're just totally cool with like, oh, you just randomly showed up
here,
and 4 of your friends are with you.
Yeah, clearly something happened.
Right.
What's on this tape, honey? Honey, what's on the tape? Honey, what's on the tape?
Oh no, let's go watch it.
Honey, what's on the tape? You have to tell me. You legally have to tell me. Anyway, everybody, this is food for worms. Sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna say this has been like we're signing
this
off
has
already.
Yeah, fuck all of you. We're leaving.
My name's Sam.
My name is Darien, and this is my last day at Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's a weird night. This is D and I's. We're not stopping the pod. D is moving away.
Yeah.
And this is our last time we're gonna be in the same room recording
for
together.
a little bit.
Well, yeah, we're gonna still do it, but there's gonna be a little while that we're not in the same room, so it's gonna be different. But we've already done it over the interwebs.
Yeah,
and we'll still see each other's faces. It's not like we're doing it over the phone or anything. So
Yeah.
I feel like I was weird about it at first, not about you going. I'm stoked that you're fucking going. I'm stoked
buddy.
for you to do your thing. And I was just like worried on the I guess I don't even know, like the feeling of how it was going to be just continuing to like do this. But I think online, I really got used to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see it being, the dynamic isn't going to change at all, you know?
Yeah, I think we're going to try and keep the same dynamic, the same fart jokes, the same hard-hitting questions.
Hard.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? I know it's been a busy week for you. You're
It's
prepping.
a busy week now.
Yeah.
Everything's busy. Everyone's everywhere at the same time. This has been one of the most harrowing. This feels like Soundset.
Oh yeah.
Everything's happening at the same time. Everything's urgent, and nothing is urgent. And at the end of the day, nothing matters. And you just want it to be done.
Right.
In this case, I want all that. It's that feeling, but then it's gonna end with me driving 20 hours to the East Coast in a U-Haul van.
Yeah.
That goes 65 miles an hour max. So it's like, oh, it's a 6-hour drive. Well, you know, with it being 65 miles an hour, it's gonna be 8 or 9 hours. It's gonna be fine. Those are my early complaints, but I don't know. I've repeated this several times, but for people that have asked, because I haven't really been putting it out there, but I've been working on like removing, not necessarily the excitement, but like just I'm not. Besides doing the work and all other things to get there, I am not hyping up the end result.
Right.
I'm not getting there and being like, oh, this is gonna be the best thing ever. I was like, I'm gonna go there. It's gonna go there. It's gonna be a new journey. I'm gonna make the best out of it. I know I'm gonna be kind of a recluse for like at least a week as I'm unpacking. But eventually, I'm gonna come out of my little Bushwick apartment and walk out like, oh hello.
Well, and you're not one to like you were saying, you're not one to really get too far ahead of yourself because
Another thing I do in other parts of my life, but not in this.
You're not looking at like. You're not thinking about when you're going to, or like getting there yet. Like, you know, you're thinking about what you got to take care of before you hop in the U-Haul. And then once you're in the U-Haul, it's probably going to like become a lot more of like a reality. Like it's clicking. Like once you're going past you're already past the fucking Great Lakes.
Yeah.
And
I think once I'm actually like, once I'm crossing the entirety of fucking Pennsylvania again, which I told myself I'd never do. But it's the most direct route to get to.
I've never driven East Coast. I mean, I guess I've gone down to like Tennessee, but
if you do it, just I'm gonna tell you right now, Pennsylvania is a gigantic fucking square, and it's a fatty. It is a fatty of a state. As soon as you think that you're fucking almost through, you're not. Okay, when you think you can't take anymore, you're halfway there. Okay, that's what it is like to drive through fucking Pennsylvania, and I've done it before. So
I've done all of Nebraska, and that's like all corn. So I don't know. Like
I've done Nebraska too, but for some reason Pennsylvania is different.
Really?
No, because like I don't the East Coast, for all of its like big city wonder, is a bunch of fucking hills and fucking mountains.
Right.
No, like people. I think some people, when they think New York, they just think New York City. New York is a gigantic fucking state with. Once you leave the fucking city, it's a different spot.
Well, and there's like the fingernail that's the city, but that's where like a large majority of the people are. You
Yeah.
know, the little fingernail chilling in the ocean.
Yeah.
out there on the end.
Oh my God.
And then the rest of the state
Yeah.
is like 100 times the size
Yes.
of that with
Yes.
about the same amount of people. No,
Dude.
probably even less people.
Less people than that, man. Let me tell you, like, we went out there a few weeks ago to look for an apartment. We were very fortunate because we found me and the homie Gabby. We found a spot on our first day.
And that's so fucking
We were
lucky.
we were very lucky. And from there, we always spent 3 days in kicking it. But here's the thing: we were there the weekend torrential storms started happening, and then fucking the train started flooding. And we're like, and I was like, and it dawned on me, it like hit me in waves. I was like, yeah, that's right. New York City is an island. Brooklyn is an entire island.
Yeah.
No, this is me alone in my hotel room. I was like, oh no. That's the sound that I made alone. I was like, oh God.
Well, and like the dark thoughts come in, and you're like, what am I getting myself
What am I
into? The first experience of you being there.
Yeah, the weeks leading up to is like now everything's on fire. Fucking today, everyone. We're recording this. This may come out like September.
This
maybe?
will probably we'll probably be coming out in like a month or something like that.
Yeah. So by then, maybe I will have already forgotten all of you. I'm joking. That's not true. But
D will be past that 1 week of being a hermit in his own apartment. He'll leave his apartment actually. So.
I'll come outside. It's like, yeah, everyone, you're very lucky. I decided to bathe today. Anyway, no, right now, everybody, in the time frame this is being recorded, this is that one especially smoky day where it's actually very noticeable. Like before, a few weeks ago, when it was like you go outside and it was a little hazy in the upper atmosphere, upper skies, and now the smoke is a little bit lower.
Well, and
so
you can like smell it.
Yeah, you can smell it now, and the whole feeling of existential dread has been way worse today because it and I don't like throwing the word dystopian around,
right?
Because this is like we are on our way to dystopia.
Yeah.
This ain't it yet. So everybody, because the same when motherfuckers be like, oh, it's so bad. It's like it can be worse. But yeah, this is the time frame that this is being recorded. But all these things are happening around our world, and then this big move, and all these life things are happening at the same time. Has been really daunting, but I am a soldier and I soldier on.
Yeah, I mean, you're not one to really, like I said, get too far ahead of yourself to where you're like losing your shit. You know,
like we'll see.
No, I know, and like I said, you're probably gonna be getting to that Pennsylvania point, and then you're just like, dude, I'm gonna be angry the entire time I'm in fucking Pennsylvania. I only like Pittsburgh, and I like this one gas station I stopped at that had these really specific gummy bears that were tight, and then Philly, and a list of places that I like in Pennsylvania. So. Because I only know East Coast from like movies and shows. So like a large majority of my favorite television shows were, it happened in either New York City or like Cheers is in Boston and Boy Meets World is fucking Philly.
Is Boy Meets World in Philly?
Yeah, they're from I think they're right outside of like Philadelphia or whatever. But yeah, they're like obsessed with the Philadelphia Phillies and stuff. And but yeah, that's all. That's the only awareness I have to the East Coast. So I'm super stoked. I'm gonna be sometime in the next 6 months to a year, I'm gonna cruise out and make it to the big city. I know that makes me sound super Midwestern. That I can't wait to make it to the big city, but I've never been up there, man. Yeah,
they move different. It's I've had the opportunity to stay there for a few days at a time, and I'm always kind of like the mystique of the city. Once I'm actually like around people my age, it hits me a little harder, but it's mostly just like the same thing that we all do here. Everybody's just doing their own fucking thing, grocery shopping, living, going for walks and shit. But in that case, there's just 19 million fucking people within several miles of you.
Yeah, you got about 20 times the size of the people in the Twin Cities here.
Everything's brown too. Oh my God. Yeah, I think that's the one thing I'm going to miss the most is like just being completely surrounded by trees at all times.
Oh yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah.
But I'm stoked to I mean now I'm like thinking of myself being able to like come out and see you and shit. So I'm just stoked to go. Like I want to make it to like Central Park. So you're gonna have to come and do at least a couple of touristy things with me when I come out there because dude.
Oh, Sam, I'm making a budget. We're gonna do those things. Don't worry.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna. You're not gonna come out there and be like, no, I don't want to go do these things with you, my guest, you piece of shit. No, that's not how it's gonna go.
Well, and like I don't think I need to go to the Statue of Liberty, but I'd like to go out in a boat so we could take some pictures.
I actually know about that. So when I was there a few weeks ago, my mom was like, you have to go to Statue of Liberty. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna be there for 3 days. At least 2 of them are gonna be spent looking for an apartment. I'm not gonna go to Statue of Liberty.
And then you found it first day.
No. But she wanted me to go there, but she also wanted me to go to the not Madison Square, but that fucking what's the the one big road with all the shit and the advertisements and all the shit.
Like it's like where the fucking
The
stockbrokers are and shit.
No, that's fuck those guys. No, it's the no, it's the one with that's I keep want to say Central Park. That's not it.
Something Square.
Yeah. Times Square.
Times
She
Square.
wanted me to go to Times Square.
Yeah.
So I was like, why? She's like, you just have to go. You doing things that I never had to do. And I was like, okay. You also have to go to the Statue of Liberty. I was like, I'm not gonna have time for that. That's a whole like.
That's a day endeavor.
Yeah. Like that for me. I feel like that would be like sitting down and committing to watch Benjamin Button.
The Statue of Liberty makes you think of the movie Benjamin Button.
No, it makes you think of the emotional and time. And the emotional and the chronal commitment to have to watch those things, because I don't know, because from where I was to get to the edge of the water where all that shit was, and then to how long it would take to get to the Statue of Liberty. Anyway, I mentioned that to my friend out there, and she was like, "Yo, fuck all that. Just take the Coney Island ferry, because the Coney Island ferry goes right past it. You can get all the pictures and shit, and you won't spend any money because it's free."
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, I can do that. So we'll do that.
Okay.
But we could also go to the Statue of Liberty because you'd be there to do, because that's what you want to do.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd love to go down to Coney Island because I know that's
Warriors.
like, huh?
The Warriors.
Yes. And like Lou Reed lived there forever, and I know that there's like a lot of like people like doing street performing, or at least I've seen like videos of people doing that down in like the Coney Island area. I should stop talking about it because I don't even know. I just know peripherally from TV shows, music that I hear from there. Like a large majority of music that I'm into, like hip hop wise for sure, comes from New York City. Yeah. And then there's fucking Leftover Crack and the Strokes. And that's like the rock and roll that I know from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm going to miss home. And like you said earlier, it's going to hit me in waves. Like, I've lived in Minnesota my entire life. I've been here since I was a baby.
Yep.
And I've had the privilege of being able to get out and travel for like a long period of time. And I've had I've had the privilege to be able to leave and go see other places and meet other people outside of Minnesota. But I think part of the reason why I want to go and the opportunity ended up opening up, ended up presenting itself with my friend Gabby, and I just jumped on it. I was like, let's fucking go. I think if you have the means and you're able to, you should get the fuck out of your hometown, or at least your home state for a little bit.
Well, and you've never just done that. So like, yeah. I don't know if you did it super spontaneously, but just to like be like, yeah, I'm cool with moving.
Yeah, I think spontaneous would be like, I'm here today.
Yep.
And then I go to New York tomorrow.
Right. But
in this case, it was like my homegirl hit me up. She's like, we should go, because she not even talking about it. It had been a conversation, but when she like popped up, she's like, we should do it. I was like, when's your lease up? She said July. I was like, mine too.
So this could be a real thing, and we could actually
look into it and plan it. And it's been funny because I was able to approach all of it like a tour manager.
Right.
But here's the kicker. And Gabby, if Gabby ever listens to this, she'll probably be like, smack her lips and just look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They got to a point where through the planning, I was just like, this feels like work, and I stopped touching it. I stopped looking. I was like, man, fuck this trip. I'll get back to it. Because in real time, like, I'm also running logistics for my actual day job as well. So I'm kind of like, as soon as it applies to me,
and now you gotta go get a U-Haul out of state.
Oh my god, yeah, that's the kicker, everybody. So here's the kicker. So we get back, we're like, let's do this shit, but we're waiting on our fucking lease. Also, we just got our lease and we're leaving in 2 days. We just said it was 103 pages long. All right,
holy fuck.
So all that, so we were holding on getting around because we were like, you're not trying to buy a rental and do all this other shit and not have our fucking shit locked down. And here's the thing, we got the apartment locked down on money, so like they had our shit. Right. We were approved. They just had to send the lease. Just sent the lease. We were holding out to get the rental until we got the lease, but at some point we kind of like, fuck it, let's just get the rental, because at the end of the month everyone's fucking moving at the same time.
We got to go anyways. Yeah. I
get this fucking rental. I get it back on like the 21st, and then they're telling me like, you have agreed, you stupid motherfucker, so the shit, that if we don't have enough trucks at any of the spaces that you're okay with going to get one from a different location. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'll drive 30 minutes outside the city to go to get a fucking U-Haul
And that's
truck.
where anywhere. That's where anyone's brain goes to.
Yeah.
A half hour out of the city is fine.
Some shit that's fine. Hey everybody. Now think about like if you're in Minnesota proper, maybe if you're in Minneapolis proper, thank you. And think of like how far you would drive out to go get a U-Haul truck. And think like that'd be reasonable. Just like, yeah, like a reasonable distance. I had to drive to fucking Menominee, Wisconsin.
And what is that, like an hour?
Hour and 20 minutes.
And then back.
And then back.
And then load up.
And then
cruise
go to
up.
fucking New York City. I was so fucking mad. I just looked up, I was driving back from Duluth and I'm not gonna catch an attitude with customer service people because they got jobs. I've done their job, so whatever. I'm treat them like a human being. But when Kayla said, yeah, the nearest one we have is in Menominee, Wisconsin, and I was like, fucking excuse me. She's like, Menominee. I was like, Menominee? She's like, oh yeah, that's how it said. I was like, the nearest truck is in Menominee, Wisconsin, and she was like, yeah, and it's like, she's like, is that bad? I was like, yes, it's terrible. And I was like, all right, word. All right, no, that is. But I was like, also, what can you work with me here? Is there anything else? She's like, yeah, man, sorry, you're asking for one on the 30th. Everyone's moving out.
Right. Well, and is it one of those big ass ones, or did you get like the middle range truck? Because
I have the middle range one.
I've driven the middle range. I don't think I could do a big ass fucker all the way across the country. You don't have too much shit. So
I don't. We got the mid one. We're both kind of condensing to. I know I condensed. I don't know what the fuck Gabby's doing out there. So I was just over there and they're packing. She's like, I'm taking all of my kitchen stuff. I was like, all right. Anyway, I got the mid one. We're gonna try and do it in 3 days and give ourselves 2 days to pack and do all this other shit with the truck. But once we got all of it, once it was all locked down, I was like, all right, let's fucking go. Now it's just packing up the room and fucking 8 years of living in this spot, man. It's been like I've accumulated stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that's just natural.
Yeah, but I always told myself that, I'm not like a really big, like, there's the things that we tell ourselves, and then there's the stark reality.
Right.
In this case, I was like, I don't have, like, I'm not a possessive person. I'm not a materialistic person. I'm just not.
Right.
What I have found is that it's full of shit, and that I have a lot of shit, and that I've had to get rid of. And this, like, those little trinkets that I hold on to, or little parts of me, like, I have a bunch of movie posters from when I worked at the movie theater, like 12 years ago.
Yeah, this is forever going the hometown.
Oh my God. Now I have, like, a Twilight poster. I got an Avatar poster. I got all these movies from like 2000 and 2008, like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Predators.
Do you have Idiocracy?
No.
Okay.
Sorry,
buddy. No, I know. That's a poster I'm looking for, just because it's. I think next year is the 20th anniversary of that shit. I don't know if you ever got down with that movie, but
I did not. I know Dax Shepard's in it for a moment.
Dax Shepard and Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson and Maya Rudolph. But
Maya Rudolph.
And then Terry Crews is the president.
That's dope.
President Cramacho. And I feel like we're going to get to the point, because the joke of the movie is that he's a wrestling, like basically like WWE champion type of thing. Mm-hmm. And he became president, and he lives it like he's a fucking rock star wrestler. And people want The Rock to become the president. And I just think,
so The Rock is in it too?
No, The Rock is not in it. I'm saying about like now, today, people have actually like talked to The Rock, and he's like talked about like possibly running for fucking president or some shit. Okay. And I'm not saying The Rock would or wouldn't be a good president. I don't know enough about his politics or him as a person in general, but I think it would be fucking hilarious if The Rock became our president, because it's one other thing that Mike Judge predicted in Idiocracy 20 fucking years ago, because he thought it would be such a fucking joke that a wrestler became president. But it could possibly happen.
Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor of fucking California.
Well, we had Jesse Ventura. We had a wrestler here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not outside the realm of possibility. Fucking Ronald Reagan was an actor, so and he was a piece of shit. So,
well, and that Reagan always makes me, because we were born like right after Reagan was out, and I was like Back to the Future, bringing it back like 20 episodes when we just we talked Back to the Future like every single episode, but he's like who's the Doc Brown asks Marty McFly, he's like, who's the president in 1985? Ronald Reagan. The actor? Okay, future boy. And then he slams the door in his face.
You know, it's really funny. It took me like a few days to realize where that joke came from, because they did that bit in the first season of Ted Lasso.
Oh, okay.
And when it happened, like, Robert, the actor? And I was like, why is that so funny? Where have I heard that before? And yeah, so hell yeah, I love that joke.
It's just great because Doc Brown, he's like, okay, future boy, and then slams the door in his face.
Hell yeah. Doc Brown's the shit.
Yes, he is.
He was really trying to hold it down, and then he was like, man. Oh. I don't know. I could go on a pretty decent Back to the Future rant, but I'm not going to.
You could.
Nah.
Okay.
Let's keep moving. No matter of fact, one sec. We're gonna take one quick commercial break, really quick, everybody, from our friends at hopefully still Better Help. Y'all are great. Food Performance Podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sam, you've been to therapy, right?
Yeah, it always helps my brain and my heart to get the weird, sad, scary stuff off my chest.
Man, the case of the sads comes at you fast, but yeah, without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace in this day and age is just hard. It truly is.
Well, and I mean, who wants to go to an office where you have to be by like a real life human?
Absolutely not. No, not in this me body, sir. No, I'm not doing that.
Well, and then like the recycled air, just that you both have to breathe in each other's faces
to validate your parking and talk to Janice outside. No, thank you. To avoid that nightmare fuel, BetterHelp is a customized online therapy that offers video, phone, or live chat sessions with a licensed therapist. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy and can start communicating with the therapist in under 48 hours. That's nice, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Food for Worms listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/foodforworms.
Goddamn right.
That's betterhelp.com/foodforworms. Do you got to go? I should probably get a toilet up here. At some point, someday.
No, you should get a chamber pot, man. Fuck it. Let's go full World of Warcraft. Never leave. Somebody comes up with a pan.
Yeah. Speaking of poop, I saw my first person defecating on the side of the street while I was driving in my car in the cities the other day.
How was that for you?
I felt very I wanted to go. but I was no, not like poop. I meant like I got to get away from this red light because I was done. Like it's like one of those things that you don't want to look at, and you're like, I got to double check and make sure that they're actually doing what I think they're doing. And yes, they were. Yeah. And I felt sad, and like I had to get the fuck out of there.
Was this a houseless person?
I'm not sure. I don't know I don't want to speculate anything about them. It could be, multiple different things. Yeah. And I mean, I was just hoping that they're all right. Yeah. That they've got an okay place to go to. And like, I didn't mean it's like sad that this person is doing this.
It was just jarring.
It's just like jarring. Yeah. And like, I hope that their situation is, it's not horribly bad, you know, like I'm hoping for the best, and that's kind of where my brain went, For
sure. Yeah. I haven't seen that in a while.
I like that you say a while, because that was my first.
I've seen a few people just taking casual shits outside. No, there's one of my earliest memories when I was like 6 or 7. It was 1995, and my mom was getting her nails done. And it starts pouring down, raining outside, and we're sitting in the shop. I'm being quiet. Abby's being an annoying little shit, whatever. It's my sister. And I look outside just as it starts raining, and this guy walks down the alley. He looks to his left, and then he looks to his right, and then as it's pouring, and he just busts out a fucking bar of soap. and just goes the fucking town. Lathers himself all the way up. And, you know, it's hard to get a good lather when it's basically like when you're standing in the shower, the world shower. The hell time, but here's the best part, and this I clocked this later on in life, where I was like, he did it by a drain. He did it by like a street drain.
That's definitely his drain.
Yeah,
like he knew that this is the
shit.
spot he's got to go when it rains.
Man, I looked at and here's the thing. I thought that was help. Now I'm like, I don't know why that dude had to do that. Maybe he had a reason. Maybe his thing is that he likes to shower outside and he's the world is his shower. But as a kid, I was like, this is the funniest thing I have ever seen. And I used to tell this joke like, I was at the nail salon with my mom, and then some guy came outside, and then guess what he did? Guess what he did, everybody? He took a shower outside.
And that's so beautiful because he's still fine. He's like, whenever it sounds like or starts like a big downpour and it's not gonna be it for a while, he's like, "Where's my bar of soap? I gotta go bathe now. I gotta get this done." Like he's got priorities. He's gotta get out there and do his thing.
In 1995, man.
Yeah,
he was getting his shit done. He was getting his shit off.
And that was down here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the nail shop is still there. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a number of reasons why anybody would take a shit outside, but you know, sometimes they don't have a place to shit inside. So they gotta go.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta fucking go. Especially if it's like 90 some degrees out, and like I don't want to be running in that shit.
Yeah, that's one like our world right now is literally on fire.
Yeah.
So it's been that, I guess, shifting to like a bit of a darker note for me. It's less dark, just more like just of a real, and I think maybe this is in the back of a lot of people's minds.
Oh yeah,
just like
let's get real
about like, and like I said earlier, I don't want to call it dystopian,
right?
But because the word it's a word that does get thrown around a lot.
Yep.
When it's like, motherfucker, this isn't the Hunger Games yet. Relax, but we're on our way if the rich and powerful had their way. But yeah, man, the sharp increase of cataclysmic weather events that are happening, like China getting a year's worth of rain in one day after having a record drought.
Right.
Like our whole world is like trying to fucking shrug us off its shoulders right now, man. And it's been like it's been daunting in a way that I didn't think would be. All right, whenever, and it's unfortunate, but whenever I think about like the world like drastically changing because of the weather patterns, I never thought it'd be during our generation, and now it is. Like a lot of people are getting hurt and dying. Fucking there was a spot in fucking Canada a few weeks ago that had a lightning storm so bad that the city ceases to fucking exist. Shit's getting bad out here.
Right.
All the smoke we're talking about before the break, that's coming from Canada.
And we're in Minnesota. Those are close, but that's still hundreds of miles away.
Canada is a gigantic fucking thing. Canada's close to everything.
Right.
So, and then not trying to dig at you, but
no, I get it. We're literally next to America if you're in Canada. Yeah. Yes, I get what you're saying.
But there's just so much going on. And I guess like how has this been like daunting on you? Like, I guess how has this been affecting you? Because it's been daunting for me, but what have you been thinking about? How is it making you feel?
Well, and that's the thing is because like I'm outside all day every day, so like I do see how our weather changes, like it, and I guess just like I see what's going on in the news in other places, but then I see how drastically it changes here because like our climate of Minnesota, like I'm a mail carrier. So like it was fucking -50, -60 degrees wind chill like 2 winters ago. And it can get to 110, 115 degrees heat index.
Yeah.
We have a 175 degree differential of our lowest and highest temperature. I think the only other state that's like close to that is fucking Alaska. And that alone is fucking weird to me. And then like I have just become more aware, like the especially today, seeing this smoke and like being able to breathe it in. Like you would think it's right down the street. But like I said, it's hundreds, if
Yeah.
not thousands of miles away
Yeah.
from where we're at. Even Minnesota bordering Canada, it's still fucking forever away, and it just makes it so much more real. And like the stuff that was going on in the northern part of California, you know, or not northern part of California, but like up in the hills and stuff like that, you know, so many spots over there were on fire, and I feel like it didn't hit as close to home because I wasn't seeing the smoke coming, like billowing like into our city and like over our state, you know, and that's not to say I wasn't thinking of the people that were losing their homes and loved ones out there. It's just now I see the smoke, so it like actually clicks in my brain like this is a fucking reality. You know, and that's sad to say that it makes like that's when it clicks that it's reality, but like once it's in your backyard, I feel like it's more of a smack in the face. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's like there's the whole out of sight, out of mind type of mentality.
Right.
And unfortunately, I feel like everyone is. We do it with people. We do it with world events. Like if it doesn't affect us, then we don't have to think about it. Like one of the blessings of Minnesota period is that we are a state that gets a little bit of everything.
Yep.
Sometimes in the extremes, but we get it. Like I would not tropical, but it's fucking rad here in Minnesota. So,
yeah.
It's like we get the cold, we get the hot, we get the in betweens, and it's fucking beautiful. But like you said, like now it's like we're fucking walking outside. Like no matter what, over the past couple of years, like, if there's fire somewhere, the worst it was just get like we get like a red sky.
Right.
The sun would set blood red. And in the Lord of the Rings lore, something dark happened the night before. Blood was spilled or some shit. I don't know.
Right.
But in this case, blood is literally being spilled. Land is burning. And there ain't shit we can do about it. And it's becoming more and more apparent that our world is literally trying to fucking be like, yo, what the fuck are you guys doing? And it's and we're alive and we're living through it. And one of the things for me is like looking far off into the future, because while I'll remove my expectations so I can enjoy a thing. My expectations and will sit real comfy when I'm watching shitty stuff happen. I'm like, no, like this is bad.
Yep.
And it can get worse.
Yep.
And yeah, man. And then it's like, what can we do? Well, like, what can we do outside of going there and fighting the fires ourselves? And obviously, like, we can do everything we can to. I guess I don't want to keep going. I don't want to start a spiral, because like when we start asking those types of questions and we don't have an answer for them, because we could just
downwards. we could just brainstorm, but
it just bum ourselves out.
Well, and everybody else that's listening, it could just go to like a way more dark place.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not that I'm not thinking of these people in these places living through these things. Mm-hmm. But like I said, out of sight, out of mind. Sometimes it just happens that it's like, I mean, we have our own lives going on.
For sure, I guess.
And that's not to say, I'm not trying to say that I'm being like selfish, like me.
I don't think it's about being selfish. I just think it's just the reality. Like if it is out of sight, it literally can be. It is out of mind sometimes. And I guess if anything, without getting into the doom and gloom, because I feel like I've already bummed people out enough. More is like just think about your impact.
Yeah.
And think about the world that's happening outside of it, because eventually the things that happen across the sea will affect us. If like it's affecting us now with the smoke in the air, this is the low end.
Yep.
This is the low end. We could have a total disruption of our lives. And I guess people don't come here for the I know people come here. I hope you come here for the dark and the dark and shitty bits, but I guess just think about it, everybody, and figure out how you can be a positive impact on our environment and what you can do to change, and then what can be done to help our world and get the right people in the fucking office that actually take this shit seriously. I guess
vote for people that are actually trying to push for some of these things to actually change the world, not just what's right in front of us in America here.
I will say what's right in front of us, because what's right in front of us also affects us in a big way.
I agree 100%, but also climate-wise, I'm saying these things are affecting us here and elsewhere.
Yeah, on a macro level.
Right.
You're saying. Yeah. So I guess sorry for the bummer, everybody. If it makes you feel better, I will be moving to an island. So it's 19 million people. So you guys can all. Jesus Christ.
Is there anything like out there that you have like bucket list that you're already like you're still or you already have on the list that you're like I got to take care of this and this, like things you have to experience while you're out there right away?
Not really. No, I think I guess I would. I don't have a list, but I will say just what the things that I some of the things I've thought about doing is like I would like to just start my day on a bike, start at 10 a.m. And just see where I end up by 12 hours later.
And you're gonna be a New York City biker, huh?
Ugh, we're gonna see what happens, but yeah,
Because I mean, Minneapolis is a pretty like bike friendly city, but I couldn't imagine with 10 times the people.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not trying to discourage you.
Yeah.
It freaks me out. Like my anxiety starts to go a little nuts, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what happens with that. I guess I'd like to try out some foods, but I understand as it's been brought to my attention that it would take you like 50 years to eat all the food, and it would take you 50 years to eat only some of all the restaurants in New York City.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and be terribly expensive. So, not about that. I guess I don't know. I'm just gonna I'm just going out there just for a change of scenery and just to see what can earn a new community and try and just get into something fun and professional and fucking plant the Rhyme Sayers flag on the East Coast and have some fun.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. So
fuck yeah, buddy.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Also, the food for worms bag. We're gonna kick it. We're gonna go out there. We'll see what happens. Shoot into some.
Well, I'm gonna come out there and I'd like to like record.
Yeah.
Because I
bring
think
the equipment.
I'll bring it out there and I mean this isn't gonna happen for a while, folks, but it is gonna be a reality. I'm gonna cruise out there and go see D, probably sometime in the next year because, oh yeah, and my big news, I'm gonna announce it to the fucking world. I'm having another child.
Hey,
baby. So there, yeah, that's me. In the new year, my wife and I are expecting a baby. So there is that. So I would like that to be, baby. I would like that to be a reality before I go travel anywhere. So
baby,
I know. D's.
To meet my baby.
Well, and D just had like a very beautiful, like interaction, like a great goodbye with my daughter and my wife, because you know D's our family, always has been since Brooke and I've been together. You've been part of our family. My kiddo like went and gave you a hug. We were trying to tell her like, hey, go give Uncle Darien a hug, and she was like just ignoring us. And then Brooke and you had a nice embrace, and then the kiddo was just hugging your leg, and I was like, good. I'm happy because they're usually. They're in bed by the time that we get done doing our thing up here, and so I mean it was nice. I'm happy that they were able to say goodbye to you.
Yeah,
so
it was good to see them. Yeah, roll up to me. My pattern is when I roll up here on Thursday nights, I first say hello, and then they expect to be spun around and to be used as a bell. And I turn them upside down, then I swing them to the left and to the right. We say ding dong, and then I throw her on the couch, and she says again, and then I'm like, of course, obviously, yes, let's do it again. And yeah, it's been great. That's one of the things I've always appreciated about kids as a whole is like earning their not respect, but just like earning that recognition.
Yep.
With anyone, but especially with kids, especially when it's like. If I have like a connection to that kid through their parent, it's like kids, they remember adults. Like I remember every adult from when I was her age up until like later on in life and shit. But it's like, I remember how adults made me feel.
Right.
And when adults made me feel seen, and when like I said, like I talked about like dealing with the last 2 or 3 generations in my family of kids and everything, like me making sure that I respect those kids' autonomy.
Yep.
So they put me down, like I put them down. Because for me, in my heart of hearts, I want this kid to know that it's like, I'm just because I'm an adult, besides me being an authority figure, that authority figure doesn't mean that they just get to walk all over you. I want them to understand, it's like, no, I told Uncle Darien to fucking stop, and he fucking stopped.
Yep.
Because I remember, like Like I wasn't my other family members. They weren't all bullies, but they'll definitely be on some like
I'm your elder, so I can talk to you this way, because
I-
I definitely got some of that shit
there's
too.
that, but it was also like, no, I'm gonna tickle you until you fucking pee your pants.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just shit like that. It was like, and it was like also like, and I was just like, I don't want that to be a relationship with the kids.
Yeah,
And,
no,
yeah.
like once you say stop, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Or I'll poke you one more time,
Yeah,
and then
like,
and then
poke,
and then I'll be
then
like,
I'll stop,
okay,
yeah.
because I know a kid's mentality is they're gonna try to get that one more poke in.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do the same fucking thing
Yeah,
as well.
I remind kids like, no, I'm the biggest kid here. Like there was, oh my god, there was one time, I'm not gonna say the kid's name, but they thought that I was the adult, and I was like, no, your parent is the adult.
Yep, I'm here to have fun with
I'm
you.
here to have fun.
Yeah.
Like fuck, like I don't give a fuck. Like we'll put like they kept messing with me, I kept messing with them, and then the parent was like, y'all need to chill. I was like, so we chilled, and then I pushed them off. I pushed them off the beanbag, and they're like, "What the? Like, why'd you do that?" And
When you
and no. Here's the best part. And then I was like, "I didn't do anything," and they're like, oh, "You lie." And what are you about to say?
you've always just been like, even before I had a kiddo, like any kids that were in our like group of friends, or like in our family of friends, you've always just been very like good with the kids, and like you're saying, like you try to get a relationship with the kid.
No. I don't like to force anything. So I guess so for me it's like if I'm in it, so if I have the opportunity to meet a kid, I will be like, hello, you're a person, nice to meet you. But for me it's just like, I just make sure that the kid feels seen and that they feel respected, and that I'm not lording
They're
over
a human. They're not just like a small
an
little
accessory of their parents. I don't like treat kids like that. So I guess so for me it's like, yeah, it's just I don't try. Okay, I don't force myself on anyone, even if it's like, oh, I hate but you know what I mean. Like I don't force my personality. If you don't want to interact with me, you want to fucking interact with me. But if you want to interact with me, I'm all fucking for it. And if I have the opportunity and the privilege to become like a little mentor or a big homie to these kids, then I embrace that.
right.
And it's important to me that the kids feel seen, they feel respected, because I didn't feel seen, I didn't feel respected growing up, and to know, and then to be a part of that, the next generation of children who know at least what it's like to deal with one adult who isn't on some bullshit.
Do you think?
It's great.
Do you think that outlook of like having that relationship with kids, or just like that understanding of like they should just be talked to like a human, do you think that comes from obviously how you were treated as a kid, but like maybe, I know you were like a part of like youth groups and stuff like that when you were a kid. Do you think that kind of comes from there as well?
I guess I want to not poke at, but I'd like to like establish like what you mean by like a human. I guess when I talk to kids like they're human, I guess it's more like I just treat them like a person, and like I said, that they're not an accessory of their parents.
Right.
Because that's how I feel like some kids are treated. And then how I get to that point, I would say it's a lot of trial and error. From like growing up and then seeing how my cousins treated me, which was mostly good, loving, but just really firm, and like just like it was always a stop, quit, don't.
Yep.
Punch.
Yep.
You fight them, they beat you down, and then you run away crying.
Yeah.
And whatever. I would say that my time working with like in the BGC, and then also being a member of the BGC, a lot of the staff there, they were people, as well as our mentors, meaning that they were out fucking around and being adults and being messy.
Yep.
And getting drunk at bars and being 23-year-olds as well. And one of the things I appreciate specifically about the club that I went to is that none of them faked being like they were all good role models, and being a good role model doesn't mean that you're a perfect person, or
right?
That
you can
don't
fuck
swear,
up. Yep.
or that you come in on Saturday afternoon, because they got to come in like at 10 a.m. on Saturday afternoon. hungover like a motherfucker, and then they drink some water and some coffee, and then they'd be like, all right, cool, let's play some fucking trench, y'all, and they do the thing. But that's one of the things I appreciate about going to the BGC and learning from those staff, because they were just people. And since they were only maybe like 10 or 12 or 13 years older than we were most of the times,
right?
Because they were in college and shit. We were all 10-year-olds. They were like early 20s and shit. They were still figuring out the world as well, and they treated us our age. But as we got older, they were more. And as we were coming into the club with our own outside of the club issues,
yep,
they were able to relate with us because they were going through a lot of shit. They were going through that shit not too long before they met us, and then they were going through their own adult versions of that shit now.
Yep. Everybody that was in there, either a youth or an older mentor, had their shit that they were going through,
mm-hmm.
like just life in general, no matter how old or what you were going through.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody's got their own shit.
Yeah. So I guess for me, learning from all of them was like the imperfections of being a person. And then also making sure that you as the person, as the mentor person, knowing that you are not perfect. And then
it's good that they weren't trying to put up some facade that's like, this is what you need to be as a human. Like, you knowing that these people that you looked up to, that look out for you guys, that they make mistakes or that they have shit that could be going wrong in their lives, I think just helps you understand. Like, everybody has stuff that they have to go through.
But I would say the ultimate goal of the Boys and Girls Club, I feel for me, was that they wanted each kid to be the best possible versions of themselves.
Yep.
And I think that the staff for us, at least for in my generation, they were the type of people that helped us learn how to make informed decisions for the most part, so we can understand what the consequences of our actions would be.
Right.
And that's one of my takeaways from them, because like they'd be like, you want to do that? All right, you do that shit. Here's what can happen though. And like, all right, you want?
Oh, you still want to do it? Okay, go
ahead.
Go
for it. You tell. All right, and then
you can't look at me funny when it goes, sideways. Yeah,
so shit like that, and yeah, so yeah, and yeah, I don't know. No, that's a different term, but I appreciate that conversation. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm glad it made that turn.
Yeah,
because we were going a little dark there for a little bit.
Yeah, right. You know? Sorry, we went from like the world being literally on fire to.
Hey, we brought it back. We brought it back. So yeah. I'm happy with that shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, kids are dope. New York should be cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm nervous about having a second one, but I'm sorry. Yes, please. Oh my God. No, yeah. It's fine. We were just talking kids and stuff, so mm-hmm. I keep thinking about this because it's the main thing that's been on my mind lately. Mm-hmm. And like just having the two, because I'm one of one. I have step siblings, mm-hmm. but like up until when I was 10. Like in those main formative years, because mm-hmm. it's like what, like 2.5 to 6 or 7 is like the main part that's like the most important, I guess, mm-hmm. Of your development. And during that time, I was an only child, and with 2 homes, divorced parents, and whatever, mm-hmm. and having 2 kids, and Brooke is one of multiple. I'm not going to give her whole life mm-hmm. Story out on the podcast, but. So I'm excited to see that dynamic, and because I was playing with myself and my action figures and figuring out doing things on my own, and like I don't know if my parents were ever fully capable of giving me all of the attention that they possibly could, because mm-hmm. I was so fucking like I just needed because I didn't have. I'm your typical fucking only child, yeah. and I'm excited to see that dynamic and to see how my kiddo like reacts to having a second or like another little in the home, mm-hmm. and it's gonna be a big fucking difference. But I'm excited for this next year going forward.
Yeah,
we have big changes, coming into this world, and I'm very much so looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for y'all too, man. When y'all told me that, I remember walking in. I don't know what you said. I just know that I wasn't expecting it, and then you told me, and I was like, "What? Oh my God!" I got all weird. It was a weird sound. I made a lot of weird sounds that evening.
Well, and that's the thing is like we weren't were probably going to be trying like sometime next year, but we were just like, I think.
Sam, I didn't know you had it in you, bud.
What do you
Good
mean
job.
to make a kid?
Just fucking.
But I mean, it was. I think when you're ready, you know what I'm saying. Like I don't like over planning that type of a thing. I feel like it sets you up for it to not go the way you want it.
Now, are you saying that because you already tried to do that the first time with the first kid? Is this a hindsight?
No,
I want you to ask. Is this a hindsight 2020?
I think somewhat.
Exclamation.
I think somewhat, but we also went into the first one of like when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Like we know this basic. Within these 5 years, we're gonna do it, but I'm not gonna get pissed off or like bummed out if it's not within these parameters of time. And we wanted our kids to be within this certain age of each other, and it's within that age, but it's not to some specific day. You know what I mean? Like we weren't trying to like hold it to trying to create our own reality too much, I guess. We let it happen. Like whenever you feel like it's time, it's time. And I just think like trying to control that can set you up for disappointment. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I guess what you're saying. Yeah, I hear you saying is I guess like how I'm hearing it is like life comes at you fast, so like adapt or die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I guess to do a callback on our episode a while ago. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot, not just I don't know what fatherhood feels like. So I will stray.
The greatest thing that ever happened to me.
I bet that it's like getting a warm honey bun with a nice glass of almond milk.
Pretty close to
all the time, at all times, but forever.
Yeah,
at least
forever.
At least 18
Forever.
years, right?
But you're like you're carrying it in your hands, and you're so afraid to drop it on the floor.
Oh, for sure. And then you do it. It's like walk it off.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, you get that one time out of the way, and you're good.
Yeah, I guess for baby number 2, y'all feeling after having baby number 1, one of the lights of my world. One of the people who've had been lucky enough to live in a family where they have both parents there and they also have siblings as well,
Right.
and then I always hear different stories about how each generation of kid, they got it either worse or better because the parents, like, they put all their time and energy trying to raise the oldest one,
Right.
and then the second one's kind of like, all right, expectations are really fucking hard on you because we know what not to do. Well, and then the third kid is just like, fucking go.
Yep.
Just go into the wind. You're fucking perfect. No one cares.
Yep. And we're gonna we got your back no matter what.
Yeah.
Like obviously you do for all your children, but I feel like the last of them is the last one that you're aware of. You need to take care of them now. Like the other ones can take care of themselves now. So I got to make sure this one's okay. Yeah. And I think the last one gets kind of a little bit more special treatment, but also I think my understanding of like what it was to like have siblings and have that type of like family that you're talking about, it came from my cousins' families. Cause like I had one cousin's household that, they had 4 siblings in the family and my aunt and uncle, and I was kind of, I would go there after preschool every day, and then my mom would come pick me up over there. So like I was part of that. Obviously I'm part of the family, but like I was a part of that dynamic. So it was kind of like I got to see like what it was like to be a sibling.
Yeah.
But and then like my other awareness of being siblings all came from like fucking 1980s, 1990s television. And I know that that's fucking weird to say because television's television. It's not fucking real. But like, Boy Meets World was a very large part of my like upbringing. Like great, cast of characters, but I know that they
Sorry.
But like that, like speaking of Eric, Eric, there's like an episode. I don't want to give the whole plot away, but his dad says to him, he's like, you were different. You were the first one, and we held you with kid gloves. We babied you because we didn't know what we were doing. We were like, we were new parents, and I'm sorry that we did that for you, but it's time to grow up. And that's what his dad tells him. And I think that I took that like with my current kid now, and like, yes, I think that, I mean, obviously I'm carrying her with kid gloves, but I'm also letting her, make her mistakes, fall down, get bruises, hit her, trying not to be as much of a helicopter parent as I can. So that's what I took away from Boy Meets World, as well as a large amount of other knowledge that I put into my day-to-day life.
I'll love to unpack that at some point.
Oh, we're definitely going to.
I was gonna say how I couldn't imagine being like Mr. Feeny, and like you have this nice little house and a pretty decent garden, and you're also fucking principal. Yeah. So you have the time to be an administrator for a bunch of kids, and then you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this job. I'm gonna do this job. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna do this shit for fucking ever. And then you look up, and one of these little shits ends up being your neighbor. You're like, all right, cool. This is the thing I have to deal with. Move on.
Well,
cool. No, let me finish. Okay, so this shit happens. So you're sitting there, and you look at me. Then there's two of these little shits.
Yep.
And they're fucking brothers, and they are next door neighbors, and they are also the fucking they are children at at the school that you work.
Yep. And you've known them literally since grade school.
Yeah.
But that's the part is like, he's Corey's teacher in grade school.
I know.
Then middle school.
Yep.
Then he's their principal, and then he follows them to college.
I
know. What happened to the hundreds of other students? And that's what I've wondered since I was a kid.
No, I'm saying like Mr. Feeny has only been dealing with this family his entire career, and he has probably let so many kids down. Yeah. I'm just gonna say that. Nah, that actor is fantastic. He's great.
Well, and he did big things for Sean Hunter.
Oh okay, not that. Okay, when
Ryder
I say
Strong, fucking babe of the
agreed,
90s.
But what I mean is, when I say family, I mean like that whole group of fucking people.
Right.
He was a mentor to all of them. The bit I was trying to do earlier was like, imagine like you're thinking like, oh, these kids, and you see kids grow, and you see them go, but being stuck to the same group of fucking people for nigh 20 fucking years,
and that's all your life.
That's your entire life. You look at like you've been there for the drama, for the breakups. Oh, they're together. They're not together. That'd be such a you're just sitting there. He's cutting his azaleas because it's time to do that time of year, and he's just dishing all the fucking goss.
It's sad that I know this, but I'm happy that you know it as well, because it is azaleas that he has in his garden in the back of the house. I was
joking, but this is great.
But because he bitches at Corey for like hitting his azaleas with like a baseball.
Because he's been working fucking hard on those things, and Corey has been fucking flunking out of fucking language arts since fucking 6th grade. Okay, Corey needs to get his shit together.
I know.
Right? Anyway, sorry that got really heated. I'm a Feeny fan, so
I am too, and like I give it up for like those actors, because I think they were like some of the greater, like you could really feel the relationship of what it was like to have a teacher that genuinely cared about like only you and not the other 200 students that he had.
Sorry, I want to pull up his name. I want to know who this man was.
Well, and the only other thing I've ever seen him in, do you know the movie The Graduate? Have you heard of The Graduate?
Yeah, that's the one with Steve Carell, and he was like a fucking... No,
The Graduate's from the 1960s. It is Dustin Hoffman, and he ends up falling for an older woman, but Feeny is his dad in that in that movie, and that's the only other thing I've ever seen Mr. Feeny, George Feeny in. Was The Graduate, which is like probably like 1965 or something around there.
All right. His name is William Daniels. This man is 90 years old.
Is he still alive?
He's still fucking kicking.
Good. That's awesome.
As I can tell, as of March, he's 94 years old. He says love and family keeps him going.
Because he doesn't have to hang out with Will Friedle anymore.
You mean Ron Stoppable? Leave that man alone.
Oh, well, Will is Eric.
I know. Eric plays, the guy who plays him is Ron Stoppable.
Oh,
Kim Possible.
I didn't know that.
He's been deep in. Also, did you know he also does he paints figurines and shit?
And that's what he does?
He has a bunch. He still does voice acting and he still does cons and shit. But that's also a thing where I think he has a show where he interviews people as they're painting figurines, like little miniatures for D&D.
That's
and
awesome.
And shit. Yeah, good for him.
I remember on Disney Channel they had Will Friedle Day, and I was like,
as they fucking should.
But why? But why is? Because I don't remember anybody else having a day. So why is Will Friedle the one dude that gets a day?
Because out of all the characters, he had the most charisma.
You're right.
He had the most charisma.
But Ryder Strong, Sean Hunter, had the coolest fucking name.
He was playing the bad. So he was playing the bad guy. He's not the bad guy.
Yeah, but he was the
one
playing
the bad boy.
Right.
Wow, we're getting really into our bag. Oh man. Yeah.
Well, D, I wanna say to you, I really cherish our friendship, and I am stoked. And I could tell you were nervous when you were telling me that when we first had the conversation, and you were telling me about moving to the coast. Not nervous about moving to the coast, but having the conversation, because you know how my anxiety goes. My brain, and I'm sure you were like, "Yep, Sam's gonna think that I don't want to do this thing anymore." Not our friendship, this podcast or whatever. And
dude, you've changed. You piece of shit.
But sitting down and having the conversation, I heard where you were coming from, and I was just like, yeah, dude, you got to go fucking do your thing, and you got to get out of your home state. You got to go to New York City. Of anybody that I know that I don't have to worry about that could go to New York City is you. You've always just been a person that can yep, I'm gonna grab grab by the seat of my pants. Is that weird to say? Is that a saying?
I think so, but if you want to just keep butchering it, that's fine.
I think it's out of context, but I don't even know. I don't even know if that's right. I just pictured the Lorax picking himself up.
Still haven't seen that movie or read the book.
You got to check it out, dude.
Nah,
it's so good.
Okay.
But I believe that you are going to be great out there, and I am stoked for you to experience these things and find yourself, and I hope you come back someday and just to hang or whatever, but yeah, I'm very excited for you, and I'm proud of you, and I love you.
I love you too, buddy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was nervous to tell you about it. It wasn't because I made sure to be really clear about what I was saying, what I meant, what my intentions are, and what I wanted to do when I left the state. But I appreciate you being receptive and being supportive throughout all of it. It's been a wild ride for all of these things to happen at the same fucking time between work and the move. But it's been
well, and change is fucking scary. But
here's the thing, I ain't worried. For me,
it's good to embrace it. Is what I'm saying.
I'm embracing it, but I'm not. But I'm trying to do less things out of fear.
Yep.
And even if I'm afraid, it's I'm just gonna just go with it. I don't know what's out there. I know that but all I know is that I've lived in Minnesota my whole life, and most of my career has been based out of Minnesota, and I've only mostly had to deal with Minnesota people. In Minnesota, on an industry level, is a fucking island.
Yep.
And it's a very beautiful and vibrant island. We have bitchin' parties. We have great people. We have great music. We have a beautiful community. And
bitchin'.
And it's been a honor and a privilege to be able to grow here and to love here and to have friends here and to have a support system here. But I also think that people need to get the fuck out of here for a little bit. So to be able to kick myself out of my own accord and be able to still have the support system and being fortunate enough to still have a job and be able to go out there and live and explore and really plant a flag and see what I can get into. I'm going to go out there and just do my best and see what, and just almost everything I want to do, I want to have some kind of impact back home. Both for this podcast, both for my career and other ways and shit. I want to be able to be a dot connect. I'm not only the whole dot connector bit bullshit, but like I want to be able to help people that are living in Minnesota get some kind of connection out there too. Like for me, I'm just saying this right now. I want to bring Blood Smoke Body to fucking New York City. Like I want to be the reason. No matter what, I'm gonna say this right now. Nazim and Spencer, okay? You two are the shit, okay? And you two are bigger than Minneapolis. I want to see y'all fucking blow up. So let's fucking go. But
they're an unofficial sponsor of the podcast. I've never met the guys, never talked to them, but we rep them in like every other
beautiful music. But like I think, but my thing is that Minnesota can be an island, and I want to leave the island, and I want to see if I can bring shit back, and I want to see if I can bring people to New York, and I want to do some shit. I don't know, but for this podcast, I want to grow us there too in some capacity, and I don't know, but I want to make the most of it. I want to have some fun, and I want to grow, and yeah.
Well, and I wanted to say in regards to the podcast, like I've been hearing from some people, you know, I listen to a lot of podcasts because I'm a mail carrier, so I throw them on all the time. Mm-hmm. And like they'll say like, yeah, people tell me that, you know, they appreciate me and that I helped get them through their day or whatever. And I was having a very hard time. And I've heard from a couple of people that like listening to our stuff has helped them get through a hard time. And I just want to say like it means a lot, and I'm happy that the random shit that D and I are saying and our relationship and what we're talking about can be can be what's that?
We're not that random. This is a polished, highly produced podcast.
Oh yeah, we have all this written down.
We have notes.
but I think it makes me feel like I just really appreciate it's become more of a solidified thing, because that's really what I wanted was to have it be something that people could maybe like be a part of their lives that makes them feel not so alone or that they're going through something. And if I know that we're impacting someone's life, I'm happy that I can get someone through a weird time. So I just want to say, folks, this is D's last, time in the attic for a while. And I just want to say thank you so much for, your support and your listening ears over these past, 6 months. So yeah. I'm very appreciative.
So 7 months now.
Yeah. And we love you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't say it enough. So I just had to throw that out there again. So
yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Thank y'all very much. The folks that do reach out, y'all are it's humbling, because like being able to having our creative thing, like us talking is content.
Yeah, we're putting something out there.
Putting something out there, I guess, but just being heard and then knowing that it's appreciated, that is appreciated, and it is an honor and a pleasure, and thank you for having us. So thank you, we appreciate you all. Also, we've been some folks have been reaching out saying they want to make donations to the pod.
Oh yeah. I've heard from, and this isn't us bringing this up like, hey, we're trying to make $1 off of y'all, but a couple of people have said, like, hey, how can I donate to the podcast? And if you folks ever want to, you can go to paypal.me/Food for Worms podcast. And that's not me telling you like, hey, go throw us some money. But if you ever wonder how you can support our podcast, that is a way that you can go do it.
Yeah, so it'll go directly into getting merch going and to getting some new equipment. But we're doing pretty good.
Because I'm currently working on getting us some T-shirts, and then we're gonna move forward and get some stickers and all of these types of things. We're gonna be getting some merch that we can put out there so we could see on the streets wearing our shirts. So.
Also, since again we're cornering the mail carrier market, which is my bit, which I hope is true. Yeah. We're gonna do eventually pinup mail carrier calendar.
I'm so stoked for this. It's
So-
gonna be. We're gonna do a legitimate photo shoot.
I'm
and
saying right now, Liz, you're hearing this shit. This might come out like early September. If you, a graphic designer, and if you, a photographer, or if you want to help us with this, a good chunk of proceeds will go directly to a charity. But we would definitely like to. But it would be a fun thing to put together and just show the vibrant community that are our mail carriers who are out here. They're all different shapes, sizes, colors, sexes, and creeds, and let's fucking do this shit.
hell yeah.
Yeah, if you want to see Sam in the shortest of shorts, this is how you can.
Yeah,
do
I'll
it.
cut him even shorter.
I'm saying, like, yeah, we're gonna get everybody on it. It's gonna be amazing.
But we are getting merch at some point, people, and I mean maybe years down the road we'll have a Patreon if people would even be interested in something like that. But that's here to be seen. But I just want you to know that we appreciate you and we love you.
Thank you very
D, should I read us out?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. 1, 2,
2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you for joining us. If you want to submit any questions or topics, head to bit.ly/FFW grab bag. For more existential humor, remember to rate and subscribe to Food for Worms on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You could be anywhere, and you choose to be here, and we appreciate you for joining us. As always, check on your strong friends, tell your people you love them, and remember that you can't take any of this with you, so don't be a dick. This has been Food for Worms.
Sam, I love you.
I love you, D.
I love you too, buddy.
Bye, everybody. The Food for Worms podcast is a hella rad production.
It is recorded and mixed by Samuel Sarver.
Executive producers are Darien Washington and Samuel Sarver.
Theme music is Muffins by Dresden the Flamingo.
Find us wherever you get your podcasts and like, subscribe, and leave a review.
Because we need those reviews.
We do, and it helps people hear our stuff.
It pushes us right to the top. But on top of that, we also get that sweet ass validation. Sam, have you felt validated lately?
Sometimes.
I recently took up this new moniker. Play with me in this space.
What's your new moniker?
Validation Highlander. I used to be chopping fucking heads off, man. So stupid.
Fuck them bullies.
Fuck them bullies. You get it validated, and you get it validated.
And you, and you, and you.
Do you feel seen?
I'll cut your head off.
Oh my God.